Hello, hello. So today I'm going to talk about my completed manga series, of which I don't have very many, because both in terms of like, these are ones that I have completed that I have kept around, because I do a lot of my read books, like they cycle through and then I get rid of them, because I have, limited space and I read a lot of books. But I do have technically 5 series here, but 3 of them are very interconnected. So we're going to do the 2 that aren't connected first. And so the first series I have here is Goodnight Punpun. And if they're all, lined up right, you get Punpun on the side. This series has, 7 volumes? And the first 6 are like double volumes. So we got volume 1. There's the side, the back. These are, very nice. Let's find it good. This is Inio Asano's art style. Got volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5. Volume 6. And then volume 7. And so Goodnight Punpun, this is it's a dark story. It is about this kid Punpun who, it shows him his entire life. It starts when he's a child and it ends when he's a young adult. And it is, Punpun is consistently drawn as unhuman. He is either this little bird like this, and that's when he's doing better, or he's a triangle sometimes, or when he's feeling real rough, he looks like this. But it follows both him as well as all of his friends as they're growing up, and he has a lot of stuff. When he's younger, he meets this girl called Aiko, and he falls in love with her, and he just wants to be with her all the time, and he loves her. She's in a cult, so that's not great. But he eventually, he finds her when they're older, and he's obsessed with her. He's got family troubles. His dad abuses his mom. His uncle has alcohol problems. Like, there's a whole lot going on. Then the other characters, Masumi Seki is my absolute favorite, and I love him so much. I'll put a picture. But I read Girl on the Shore by Asano as well, and the only reason I got it is because the main male character looks like Seki. But Seki is this, he grows up, and he's very close with the other kid, Shimizu, and he kind of, at one point when they're young, there's this massive like warehouse fire where they are, and he is terrified of fire after that, but he's always like, he's just kind of drifting constantly. Like, he doesn't do school, he doesn't really have a steady job, and it's a very depressing series. It's very bleak. And one might say that it doesn't have a happy ending. But I'm gonna say at the very end, Seki seems happy. And that is really all that I care about. The last time we see Seki, he's happy. He's with Shimizu. He's, yeah, that's number 1. The next one, I'm going to skip over the 3 that are connected. The next one I have is Corpse Party Blood Covered. So this is volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4, which was a bitch to get. Oh my god, I searched forever for this one. I eventually found it on like a textbook resale site, and that's how I got it for less than $140. I got that one. Volume 5. And then Book of Shadows. So Corpse Party it was originally a video game. It's a video game series. Everything's just kind of like slightly different. There's an anime, there's a live action movie, and there's this manga. It basically follows this group of middle school students who end up in this like death high school, where they're just killed horribly. It's a fun time. I enjoy it. Is it good, like, objectively speaking? No. Is it, like, objectively, like, Goodnight Punpun is, like, kind of deep. You can feel kind of smart. No. Speaking of death high schools, the last ones I have are all the Danganronpa ones. I have not finished Ultra Despair Girls. I only have volume 1 of that. But I do have the entirety of Danganronpa, the animation. This is the original one. So we got with Neji and stuff like that on the front. Kyoko, all this sort of stuff. So I got this one. I've got Goodbye Despair, which has 3 volumes. We've got Hinata, Chiaki, and Fuyuhiko. And then Danganronpa 2, Ultimate Luck, Hope and Despair, which is Goodbye Despair, but from Komaeda's perspective. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And so the Danganronpa series is a video game series that was very, very popular back in the day. And as somebody, so I do think that one of the reasons why Danganronpa got so popular initially was because there was a fan translation that came out around the same time that Homestuck went on hiatus, like a big, like the mega pause. And so a lot of the Homestuck fans, surely included, were reading this and getting really into this fan translation. It was of the game, the first game, and then eventually the second game. And so then eventually when it did come out in English, it did have that big initial push of people, yours truly included, who went and bought a PlayStation Vita and the game. And so it got very popular. It got an anime, and in English, I mean, an anime. It got, these manga series. It got so many sequels that I haven't even played V3. I have no idea what's going on with V3 because I tapped out after number 2 because there was a little bit of a pause there, and so basically the concept of this is so in the first one, our main character, he's going to this really prestigious high school. It's called Hope's Peak, and the only way to get in there is if you're like the best at what you do. So in his group, he's got the ultimate detective, the ultimate pop star, the ultimate like programmer, baseball player, stuff like that. The other way is that every class has one kid that is just randomly chosen, and they're seen as like the ultimate lucky student because they have to be very lucky to be chosen for this. However, when he gets there, he ends up waking up, and there are no other students other than his class. There's no teachers. There's just these other students and this bear, and all the doors are locked and like completely blocked off. And the rule is they have to kill somebody else and not get caught. And if they get caught in the trial, then they will get executed. So there's that. I do think out of these ones, the first game, the manga adaptation for the first game is the worst because it does try to condense the entire game into 4 volumes. Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair is a fantastic adaptation. However, it's unfinished. It doesn't finish the game. It stops. Where does this stop? Yeah, it stops with the double murder. And because it doesn't try to condense it all in such a small amount of time, it's so much better, but then they never finished it. It's this, does this end with Komaeda dying? It does. So this does finish his Komaeda story, and I think that that is fine. He doesn't make it to the end of the game. Spoiler alert. He's the nut job in the second game. And the second game has an entirely new cast of characters and a new, same concept, different location. This one is fine though because it's so focused on his perspective. This one is so rushed. It is terrible. It's so bad. But the other two, the two that are based on the second game, are very good. I think they're very good. So yeah, the only reason I'm keeping around the one for the first set is just because A, I'm like I want to keep them all, and B, the love of my life. Where is he? I want a good picture of him on the front here. I do like game 2 better than game 1 too, because I like all the characters better, except for this guy. I love him. I'm pointing at Ishimaru, not Mondo. I love him. So yeah, those are all the manga series that I own that I have completed. I do have the first 3 volumes of The Silent Voice, and I've read that entire series, but I don't own the complete series anymore. So I didn't really count that one. I also didn't count any of the single volume things I have, like The Cat Proposed, or the Girl on the Shore, the Asano one. So I just didn't count those. I also didn't count Montego's Nozaki-kun, because I guess there is volume 14 now that I haven't read yet. I do own the entire series that has been come out. I haven't read volume 14 yet. But yeah, that is where we're at. That's where we're at right now. For manga. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't keep it a lot of the time. I get rid of it. I'm collecting a lot of series that I'm theoretically keeping. But who knows how long that'll last. Sometimes I'll peter out and I'll be like, I don't really care about the series anymore, and I get rid of the entire thing. So yeah, that is where we are now. That's everything. I'll talk to you later, and goodbye.